Hi, this is Darcy from the Pickaway County Library, and today we are making cork pumpkins. To do this craft, the materials that you will need to provide will be a paintbrush. It could be as large as this, or it could be like a small artist brush. You'll need glue. You'll need some kind of surface to work on that doesn't matter if it gets dirty, so some newspapers, or I used wax paper to maybe keep things from sticking quite as much. A couple of blocks or like soup cans, something just to hold your corks together while you glue them. That doesn't matter if it gets sticky. The materials that will be provided in your packet will be the corks, a selection of paint, pipe cleaner, and some leaves. The first step would be painting your corks. As you can see here, I have the colors. I used the top of an old coffee can lid to mix my paints and have palettes. And then, as I finished, I placed them just in an old box with the top ripped off to dry. You could do all your colors the same color of orange if you want, or I decided nature had variations, so my pumpkin would too. After you paint, you need to let them get good and dry before you proceed to the next step. Okay, the next step in this process, we've already painted our corks and let them dry. I have wax paper, but you need just something that it doesn't matter if you get it all gluey and messy. We have 2 blocks holding them together. I have 7 corks. This is going to be my middle layer or my widest layer. And I'm going to use an abundant amount of glue. Actually, not that one. Oh. We have funny glue sound effects. And go down each of these seams. If you have a hot glue gun, this would be a great use for it. If not, crafting glue will work fine. It will just take longer to dry. So just make sure you get plenty of glue in each of these. Okay, now that we have the first layer and the front faces are pretty much all at the same level, we're going to add the next layer on top of that. You can see I've got lots of glue throughout, both on the curved spaces to hold the bottom layer together and also the top to make it stick. So I am going to add cork on, making sure in my case, because my colors vary, that I mix my colors up. Yeah, don't like that color there. I'm gonna slide it up a little. And I need one more cork. How about orange? Once again, make that adjustment so they all sit pretty straight. And then we're gonna let that sit and dry. So our center 2 layers have dried and we're ready to add another layer. This will be the top layer or the bottom layer, depending on which side. And what I've done is laid out my corks. I kind of chose the colors so they weren't the same colors on top of each other. If you're using one color, obviously that doesn't matter, but just something to keep in mind. I'm also this time using a hot glue gun because I'm out of the craft glue and I had a glue gun. So you can use a glue gun if you have it, or you can use Elmer's glue or some clear glue if you have them around. So I'm gonna come make a layer down the centers so we make sure it stays together really well. And then, oops, got a little too far on that. Beware, that's hot. Come across the top so the next layer sticks. And then we just need to place our corks. One. Once again, making sure that your front faces line up because the corks are often different lengths and we don't care how the backs match up, but the fronts should be more or less a flat face. So then once again, this layer will need to dry. The last layer has dried. I have flipped the pumpkin, half pumpkin over. I laid out my corks again in the color that I wanted. And once again, I am using the glue gun You can use either a glue gun or craft glue, Elmer's glue, anything that dries clear. Fill the crevices and then come on the top so the next layer will adhere. Kind of come to the side of that one. Okay, and place the next layer. Once again, having the front faces at the same face. And another layer is done. Now we're ready to start our final either top or bottom layer. I have laid my corks out again, and we're using the glue gun to fill in the centers and a little bit on top to make it stick. And we will place our corks. And now we have our little cork pumpkin. So now we are ready to prepare the stem on the top of our pumpkin. You can wrap it around your finger so you have a nice little curly stem. Undo it. You'll use one end of the pipe cleaner and put it down into your cork. My glue is already dry, so I'm going to use the glue gun and just snug that up so it doesn't come off. And then I have, oops, might have to play with that a little. You can make adjustments on that once it's dry. I'm going to put my leaves, attach them around the base of the stem so you don't see that stem. A little bit more on the other side so the other leaf also is happening. Covered up. And once they're dry and set, you can make leaf adjustments if you want. Kind of have them standing up or curling or back. But there you have your almost completed pumpkin.